First of all, I must thank the organization for inviting me for uh, a panel discussion on such an important topic, which is affecting all of us and is going to affect the future as well. I salute the panelists to name them. It is my honor to be among all of you, and I will have some suggestive mode of passing on to understand the problem and possible solutions which may come out because of what has really affected all of us. Firstly, I must uh, uh, acknowledge my presence with Justice Gyan Sudha Mishra Madam. Dr. Janardhan Jha not being here, he is also one of my gurus, and Dr. J.N. Singh, Dr. B.C. Pant ji, Rajiv Singh ji, Dr. L.C. Sharma, and Professor U.K. Chaudhary. And since the time is short, I would like to begin that India has to aim to move or advance from the agrarian economy to knowledge economy. Now, that's the only future that we have. Apart from strength that agrarian economy we have, if we are utilizing this particular time, the economy, two-pronged economy, can make India the superpower. And that's what the aim is for all of us. The seven things which are so important for all of us to begin with, that being the theme, I'll begin by saying that India is full of pure potentialities in all dimensions. Now that's our strength. So if you're pure in our potentials, I think the base is already available. The culture of giving and receiving exists, but there are issues. If we can cut down on these or maybe compromise on our additional things unnecessarily that we have gathered, rather than only receiving, we must start giving as well. So that's the cultural change we must adopt. We understand the cause and effect in the area of everything that is around us, including education. So you understand how and why education has taken the shape what it has done today. So therefore, a comprehensive viewpoint of everything around us is a must. Next is the ultimate aim of ours as a society or as an education hub. We should be trying to make this learning effortless. Now, can we make this effortless? Is a very, very daunting task. But unless that is effortless, you will not have excellence. So that's another point. Then the intention and desire of individuals and the society and the nation and the globe has to be matched, balanced, and we as a spiritual being have to be detached from anything and everything going on around, and must align ourselves with our own dharma, which is the purpose for which we exist. Now these seven things are very important, the core of everything that we can possibly dwell on. There is no doubt that COVID has affected all of us, and very little chance still exists to come back to the offline mode of education. But God is now little kind that India is gearing up to open, and once we open, the caution has to remain. The two sets of lockdown that we have had already, and then the phase wise unlocking which is happening, the topic so well chosen is unlocking education. Can we unlock education? Let me tell you,
We had
education was never locked. The only thing is, yes, some blockings were there rather than locking. Some things were blocked. The children at the school level were missing lot, no doubt. There are four constituents of any educational system: the student, the parent, the teachers, and then the school itself, the administration. There is a need of an understanding and integrating aspects of this. Now, it is not that the school only has the responsibility of making the character of an individual. The parents can take that part. So here I am talking about a new solution wherein we can integrate the school administration or school responsibility even to the family level. Can we do that? If we do that and we accept that, we are building the character of children right at home as well. So education is not only in the school, it has to be flexible, it has to give rise to the creativity where it can be done even at home. They have to be playful. Yes, the playful in the playground is not possible, but then that attitude of being playful can be taken care by the parents as of now. Let them not become rebellious. Now that part can be controlled by either teachers or by parents. Then the real mastery or the attitude of learning can be again inculcated by the parents, especially mothers. So that can be a new change. And the possible one very important thing which is the talk of the day is the meditation aspect. The aspects of spirituality can be added right initially. This 1 year was the right time to do it, and many of the schools have done that. But there is also these are things which are the solution parts. They eventually the government and the educational institutions will have to take an pedagogy concept wherein active blended learning will come in. Now it has to be blended. You cannot have offline totally now. Now this is understood. And thanks to COVID, there are certain lessons that we have taken, that teachers have gained their importance in society. If there is one solution to any problem that the society today is facing, raise the respect level or the societal level, recognition level of the teachers. Value those who research better even at early stage and give them the recognition out of the way. You see the change. The teachers, if recognized, will transfer his own expertise to the children in every manner possible. But if he is demotivated, things go altogether differently. Medical emergency is a different thing, but then school and colleges and university will have to go on forever. So the current delay, whatever has happened, is okay, acceptable, but then learnings have to be taken up, and possibly we have to have the e-learning which is continuing, even though not in full form the way it should be. But then once it opens, the offline plus e-line combination and the role of the teaching being redefined and the parents also taking up some responsibilities, we still are in the better situation compared to the world over. If you get into some data mode, I'm not getting into more details, but this COVID has really affected anything and everything on the earth. And this was an article which possibly I wrote long back in uh, April 2020. So March we were all beginning to be affected, and April I had written a thing which is on my website as well, that anything that you think of will be affected by COVID. It is, and it has to even remain. That is as per the doctor's thing. So even the richest have been affected, even the poorest have been affected, and only God knows whether there is any a real strategy to get rid of this fastest. The one thing which is important is our own inner strength, or we call that as immunity. There are different ways, again, the allopathy or the Ayurveda or the naturopathy, all these aspects can be taken up, and our immunity plays more role than the medicine. This is what I believe in. And if our food pattern, our sleeping pattern, our aspects of having faith and confidence on ourselves is reimposed, we have gone little astray by following the Western countries. I think there is nothing wrong there, but we have our own strengths, and our strengths were more on immunity rather than medicine. So we are going back to the culture, and there are studies which have been made that this particular way of living would go on to improve the COVID situation much faster. So phase wise repopulation of the classroom is a suggestion. The I would say the coordination between the national level, state level, and district level governance is a must. Over 1.5 million schools across India closed down during this particular period. But what is more important is that the internet connectivity, you can even see today with our level of facilities that we possess, there are people who have issues on internet even today. So the country being such large, only 24% of the households have access to the internet. Therefore, online education, which people thought earlier will be the real thing, it cannot be the real thing. Therefore, coming back of the offline and the teacher guru shishya parampara which we were following is a must, and I would propose that let that come earlier. In the rural areas, more the problem, only possibly 4% households have this internet facility. According to even UNICEF, the COVID-19 pandemic has battered the education system around the world, affecting close to 90% of the world's student population. Now that's very huge. So if 90% of people have been affected, education per se is affected, no doubt, but it is not locked. So unlocking it is not required, possibly reinventing ways of delivery, reinventing ways of sharing responsibilities, reinventing ways of possibly funding more towards recognition of good people, online recording of lectures, and its availability made free in the e-library or the digital library can be another solution. And then more of funding towards e-books, learning of the futuristic requirements of software in the technological area may be very much required as of now, because tomorrow is the world for technology to exist. We cannot be left out just by making our immunity and surviving. We have to be technically also advancing at the same time. Therefore, curriculum revision has to take place in all areas, which also must include the teaching of something which is very common for everybody. For example, there are many people who hardly know what is law. Why should law not be taught at the school level? Only why specialized later? Some part of basic law education, basic spirituality education, basic epics and maybe scriptures have to be part and parcel of the curriculum. I've also noted that some part of cultural exchange, the international ways of different races of people staying, and their ways of learning, and then maybe developing towards all dimensions must be a part and parcel of the education itself. There has to be flexibility. This is inbuilt in the national education policy, fortunately. So I'll take just 2 minutes so that the discussion happens rather than the lecture. Just the curriculum part, the flexibility part, the portability part. Flexibility is you can choose your the credits from anywhere across the globe, which is there in the national education policy. Portability. See, if I understand certain things at some other place, I have taken that credit there. You just examine me, or I can port that credit from there. It is also inbuilt there in the credit bank system that we have. We have to include a lot of liberal education, which is arts, culture, music, painting, all that, dance. So that is missing, and that also is the reason why we are getting more of psychological problems these days. Vocational education, adult education, the education of parents is a must. Now the parents have to orient themselves according to the requirements of the family or the children. I feel there has to be a school may take up this responsibility of teaching the parents as well, whosoever can be, or they're not up to the bar. I would also, last point that I'd like to put in is that the three, four dimensions of the mainstream education, which is academic, professional, or vocational, they have to be integrated. That means everybody has to be vocationally strong. Apart from mainstream knowledge, they have to be academically so strong that any exam is okay. Now, and then the professional skills like either agriculture, health, or law, then technical. All these aspects are to be possibly integrated, and the knowledge which can be delivered will be in the active learning mode, active blended learning mode, rather than the only online or only offline system that we may have. Once this integration takes place and the children are taught to understand what they are being taught rather than mug up and take the examination. I would go and profess that there may not be any examination at all, even at the university level. Let the industry or let the job seekers take the final exam whether you are fit for this job or no. You will see the change. So that kind of a thing can be taken up at the time when the COVID had challenged all of us. It has no doubt ruined a lot of businesses and the things. Running a university or a college at this point of time, fortunately, Amity has not been affected much, because we have been able to get the best education even at this crucial hour. And we have taken the online examination three times now. The last exam is now even continuing, and hardly there are complaints about the delivery of the educational system. So that's the credit to the technology which we are living in, and thanks to the scientists and technologists for that. And I again, once again, salute all the panelists here and wish that we get into three mode of understanding of the facilities, physical facilities, which are not required to the extent we have been gathering and amassing. Second is the relationship values that we have somehow lost, have to be regained back. And then the understanding of the coexistence being the existence rather than individual gain of height or weight or whatever degree or position. So it is coexistence which is the existence. That is where I would end, and wish that the COVID situation, we are out of this fast, and with the wealth of knowledge and immunity health that we all have, God willing, those who have gone, but we'll see that their losses are gained in terms of their own children, in terms of the society development. Thank you so much.